What's up, guys? It's Azrak here. There's actually a beautiful sunset, and we are going to do a little tiny review of the RAV Moon and the RAV Vast. So stick around. It's gonna be a little bit of a longer video, but yeah, let's do this. Okay, wow, tell me this isn't like walking into Narnia. Oh, this is the spot, Rav. This is the spot. Let me tell you. Wow. So this is where you want to play your Rav. Somewhere between paradise and heaven. Alright, so first of all, I'm actually wearing my RAV Vast Ariumi. I've got it in my little turtle shell here that they sent me. And as you'll see, there's a significant size difference. But the backpack is awesome. So they are both very portable. By contrast, the RAV Moon is also very portable. Much more portable. Boom! Alright, here I'm wearing the RAV Moon. It's much tinier, a lot less weight. Alright, so here's the size difference between the RAV Moon and the RAV Vast. In silhouette. Yes, sir. It may not look like much on camera, but the weight difference is substantial. Wow, what a sunset. Oh, that is beautiful. Okay, let's get to the good part. All right, as you can see, both of them have their cases, and they are both absolutely breathtaking and beautiful. Yes, sir. All right, I should have mentioned that both of these instruments are the RAV Ariumi scale, which is a very beautiful, relaxing scale. It goes very well with other instruments. It has your 4 main chords and is just very meditational all around. Wow. So I do live in South Florida, and there is an army of mosquitoes that is slowly beginning to find me. So we're gonna keep it short. Plus we're running out of sunlight, but I did want to give you guys like a first-person point of view, hands-on vlog review of the RAV drums, which I assume many people will be doing things like this, you know. Yeah, there's alligators in this water. All right, so this big old baby is the RAV Vast, and it is a beautiful instrument. I believe this one is an F major and D minor. So, a few thoughts on this instrument. So, a few thoughts on the RAV Vast. In this case, the Ariumi scale. It is a large instrument. It is much heavier than the RAV Moon. I would describe it as a more complete instrument. So, as a musician, as a professional musician and recording artist, personally, 9 times out of 10, I would choose something more complete that gives me a little more range. I would put in the money and invest in a more complete instrument. However, that is not to say that the RAV Moon doesn't have its own unique pros. That being said, let's give a little demonstration. Yo, these mosquitoes are getting out of hand. It has a more dynamic range. It works for meditational music, like chanting. But it also works very well for pop songs, to sing along or play along with another instrument. It gives you those 4 major chords. I mean, so many songs there. Let it go, let it go. We're not gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. From rock to pop to, let's say, when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. So it really has that musical foundation, those 4 basic chords. And by having the low notes and some highs, holy smokes. All right. That did not go as planned. We had to vacate the premises. But that's that's filming in South Florida for you. When it's not the snakes, it's the Jumanji bugs trying to eat you. I think they really bit me. Now, I don't want to discourage anybody from filming outside. I think the RAV is an instrument that should be played in nature. And it's really better enjoyed that way, in the outdoors. So, where were we? The RAV Vast. Yeah, you can play this really fast. So RAVs are usually marketed as the slow version of the handpan, and it's true because of the extended delay. It is better suited for slow meditational playing, but that is not to say that with proper technique it cannot be played fast. It can be played really fast. It's just you need to mute the note as you move on to the next note. A lot of Indian and Arabic percussive techniques apply. You know, the finger roll. But anyway, yeah, I'll do another video on that a little later. Let's keep going. So the RAV, you've got your 4 main chords. Your dominant tonic, your major tonic, the 1, the perfect 4th, right? You've got your minor 6th, and your dominant 5th, which brings you back to the 1. And again, as a musician, that's very important. That opens the door to, I'd say, the majority of songs that anyone would want to play. or sing. All right, so here we have it. Beautiful flying saucer. And again, the main difference, I'm gonna be saying this a couple of times, is the size and the weight. I mean, it is a very big difference. So let's move on to the RAV Moon. Little tiny guy. So in your hands, it's a noticeable difference. Oh, so much easier to carry. So lightweight. And like I said, both are portable, especially with the turtle shell, as I like to call it, the backpack, which is fantastic. However, I would not want to be carrying this guy on my back for more than, I don't know, 10 minutes. That's gonna start to weigh. Plus, I have an injury in my spine. I suffer from neck and back problems. So in terms of just grabbing a little RAV on the go for traveling, this is 1,000 times better. Yeah, this guy's super lightweight. So let's give it a little shot. Let's lower the camera a little bit. Yeah, so I like to position my RAV. Everyone's a little bit different. Let me say that. Everyone's a little different. I've noticed that. Personally, I like to have the deep notes or the lower notes towards me and the higher notes away from me. It just feels like this is home base, and then I can go forward. That being said, some thoughts on the RAV Moon. So first of all, it is beautiful. It's so pretty. I like the cuts on the tongues. A beautiful design. And what strikes me right off the bat of this instrument, the moment I hit that first note, is that it's very gong-like. You know the Chinese gong, Mulan? Dong. This instrument has that. Let's see. So here's my one. I believe that this RAV Moon Ariumi is an F sharp minor, something like that. C sharp minor. I have to get a piano to compare, but it's in a sharp. Oh, does it say it? Let's see. Ariumi F sharp minor dash A. I'm assuming that's A major. So when I hit that first note, and actually my legs are absorbing the sound a little bit, but when it's on a tripod, on a proper stand, you can hear it more. This instrument has more of a growth with the attack. So the RAV Vast, it's dong. This one has more of a doing, you know, attack, growth, and then decay. That's a little more obvious on this instrument. I'm not sure if the iPhone is getting that. So I would say that this first note seems much louder. Well, you know what? Let's play a little bit of the RAV Moon. Yeah, so that's pretty loud. Right off the bat, it's loud. That first, especially this note, the one, the F sharp, is substantially louder than the rest of the instrument. I would say this instrument has a lot of, I think it's called parasympathetic frequencies, which is that one note makes another note ring. I don't know if you can hear those higher frequencies. And it blends more. So this instrument is much more gong-like the Chinese gong, the gong. It has more of a growth after the attack and decay. The sound kind of grows a little more. So I would say that this one is more meditational than the other one, than the RAV Vast. It just makes you want to play it slower. You can still do speed. But that first note just, woof, it really envelops the whole instrument. So it's much higher, especially these notes. Let's pause. All right, so the RAV Moon also has all 4 tonal centers. You have your major 1, your 4th, your minor 6th, and your dominant 5th. Which brings you back to the 1. So both scales are very useful to the musician who knows a bit about music theory, who wants to use this in collaboration with other instruments like singing. Something to keep in mind between a difference between the RAV Moon and the RAV Vast is that not only is this higher the octave, but it's a little bit higher in note. That one being an F, this one being an F sharp. So I'll demonstrate what I mean. Let's say let it be. So you should consider what voice type you have. And if you sing better over this key or over that key, you may find some songs to be too high here. So I'll demonstrate that. When I find myself, so I have a lower voice type, and it changes from song to song, but I find that my voice fits very well over this key, which I believe is F major. So let's say, when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. Compared to, no, when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. It's also pretty, but it's much higher there. So maybe you're a lower voice who wants to complement with a higher gong-like sound. Or the opposite, you're a higher voice who wants something low. So you know, I could go either way. But yeah, try singing if you're a singer, if that's your intention, is to sing with the RAV. Find this note on either one. Here would be this one. versus do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. So there's a substantial difference there. Let's try a different song. I think here on the RAV Vast. Wassail, Christmas song. Wassail, wassail all over the town. Our toast, toast it is white, and our ale it is brown. Our bowl it is made of the white maple tree. With the wassailing bowl we'll drink to thee. And then we've got same exact song. Wassail, wassail all over the town. It's a bit high for me. Our toast it is white, and our ale it is brown. Our bowl it is made of the white maple tree. With the wassailing bowl we'll drink to thee. You know, maybe it fits your voice a little bit better. But it's still super pretty. So it's not like one instrument is better than the other. Now the RAV Moon will give you everything that the RAV Vast gives you. It's just so much higher. It's like a shimmer. It's almost like glitter. You know, this gives you that low punch, that roundness. You know what? Something I noticed, the RAV Vast feels soft, just the slightest bit softer to play. It's like the tongues are, well, obviously because it's bigger, so it's more loose. It's just a little, I feel like it's easier to play. It's easier to make the note resonate, and it's more even. The RAV Moon, by contrast, is tighter. A little bit tighter, especially these notes here, these tiny notes. Because they're higher, they're tighter. So it may be more difficult to make them ring if you don't absolutely hit it right here. It could be harder to make it ring. But it's very relaxing. A lot of people, if not most, I've seen chant. They do chanting, so it feels very nice. What else? All right, so I'd like to say that the RAV Moon, in comparison to the RAV Vast, is like comparing a guitar to a ukulele, right? So the RAV Vast being much bigger, that's your guitar. That's your 6 strings, low, mid, high. The RAV Moon is like a ukulele. Anything you can do on a guitar, you can do on a ukulele. And I know some very good ukulele players. I've seen professional ukulele players. I can't speak today. So like I was saying, ukulele players. Yeah, so it really depends on what you prefer, what you like, the highs, the lows. It's about personality, a lot of it. You know, I played guitar for so long, and then I found the bass, and I feel like I identified more with the bass. And for me, that's kind of the case here as well. in terms of RAV, so personally, I'm actually a flute player. That is my main instrument. I'm a professional flutist. And the flute is a high. It's a very high instrument. So I would pair up my flute. If I had to choose, I would rather pair up my flute over a RAV Vast because of its lows than with a RAV Moon. As pretty as the RAV Moon may be. However, if I'm gonna take this out for a hike, with friends, I'm gonna strap it on my back or whatever it is, I'll take the RAV Moon. This is much easier for a jam session, for a little bonfire to carry around. Yeah, if you hit it right, it rings. Again, that first note is really loud. Why is it so loud? So if you mute the high one, it's not as loud. That's what it is. It's this note. Sweet. Again, both very sweet instruments. Very relaxing. Tuned to 432 hertz, I believe. And you can just feel that in your body. So yeah, this is I hope this little review has helped. It's scattered-brained. I know. It's unplanned. But yeah, just some random thoughts. You know, you can skip through this video. Go to the important parts. You know what? Let's do a little rundown, a little conclusion. So, okay, yeah, don't be fooled by its size. So, an issue with a lot of smaller pans is volume. Usually, the smaller pans, tongue drums that you find, they're significantly less resonant because of the little tongues. They're just not as loud. That is not the case with the RAV Moon. This instrument is loud. It might even be louder than a RAV Vast. Yeah, the RAV Vast is kind of like a doom doom doom, and the Moon is more of a twang twang twang. Again, it's very subtle, but instruments have their character. Yeah, this one mixes more. Like I said, very gong-like. And that might be something that you're into. Man, and that resonance keeps going for ages, which is something very cool. This one's a little more balanced and a little cleaner between the notes. That means the decay. So the decay of the note is a little bit shorter here. The notes separate themselves a little bit more. In the Moon, they blend. Yeah. All right, so I need to do a conclusion. So in conclusion, so yeah. All right, so in conclusion, let's do a quick rundown where people can just skip and go to the very end and hear the major points. Okay, major points for the RAV. Both Ariumi, so we're comparing a RAV Vast Ariumi to a RAV Moon Ariumi. The RAV Vast is an F. The RAV Moon is an F sharp. This may be suited for a lower singing type. The Moon might fit a higher voice, but again, that's very subjective to your voice type. The RAV Vast is deeper, bigger, it is much heavier. It is worth the price. The higher notes may be easier to ring out. Than the RAV Moon. The RAV Moon has slightly tighter tongues. However, the RAV Moon is more resonant. It blends. So I would describe this one as more multi-purposed, and the RAV Moon for more meditational type music. Yeah, because of all the blending and the resonance. Both very beautiful instruments. Both you can sing pop songs on either, or do chanting, as mentioned before. And above everything, the size difference, the weight. Yeah, I do not want to be carrying this around everywhere. If I want to quickly throw it in the car, carry it with me, maybe I'm going to the park, hanging out with my friends, it's much easier to take this guy around. So portability is a big issue, and that's something you should take into consideration. You know what? Let's use the whiteboard. All right, here we go. So this is the conclusion of the RAV Vast versus RAV Moon comparison. And we are comparing the Ariumi scale in both of these. So, the RAV Vast, okay, it is in F major. I was wrong, by the way, in the video, but we'll get there. The RAV Vast is in F major. That means that it may suit a lower voice type, maybe more popular songs. There's a lot more songs in pop music and in classical music that are in F major. It is big. It is much bigger. There's a notable size difference. And in portability, again, both instruments are portable, but there is a weight difference, and that's something to take into consideration. The RAV Vast has the low notes. If you're a lover of bass notes, like I am, you're gonna like that. It's very well balanced. It has lows, but it also has some highs. And most notably, the RAV Vast, I would say, has a faster attack. What does that mean? It means that when you hit the note, it reaches its full potential a little bit faster, which makes for faster instrumental playing, a little bit cleaner. You can hear the low plus the sound of the fingers slapping on the metal. So that gives, again, for slightly faster playing. Now, both of these instruments are tongue drums and are known for meditational music. They both have a long decay, a long sustain, but there is that slightly faster attack. And I would describe the RAV Vast as a more multi-purpose instrument. again, like comparing a guitar to a ukulele, both can do the same things, both can be amazing, but the guitar is a little more multi-purpose. The guitar will give you rhythm, playing, rhythmic. It serves as accompaniment, and you can also solo on it. By contrast, let's go over here to the RAV Moon. My little moon right there. The RAV Moon, I was mistaken before when I said F sharp major. It is an A major, La major. Hence the significant difference when singing along. So this may suit a higher voice type. Maybe some girls, some sopranos may prefer that. Or if you have an even lower voice, I don't know, maybe it works for chanting. But yeah, A major versus F major. The RAV Moon is significantly smaller. This is the biggest point in making a decision with this instrument, I'd say. The weight difference is substantial. There's a big weight difference. It's much more portable, much easier to carry, and that might inspire you to pick up the instrument a little more often. Of course, you get your higher notes. It's like a shimmer, you know? The icing versus the cake. It doesn't mean one's better than the other. It's just what you prefer. And the blending. So this instrument, tonal-wise, and its tonality, it is more like a gong. It blends. There's a lot more blending of the notes. And that has to do with having a slightly slower attack. There's more growth to it, like a Chinese gong. And because of that, it may be suited more for meditational music. That is my ultimate conclusion. It's a little more meditational. So yeah, those are the main differences between the RAV Vast and the RAV Moon. This video is probably entirely too long. But hey, I hope it helps. I hope you guys can benefit from hearing my thoughts and my little vlog on these beautiful instruments. And yeah, all right. And thank you to RAV for sending both of these instruments. You guys are the best. Les meilleurs, hein? All right, guys, take care. I love you all. Blessings. All right, one last thing, because I keep looking at them and I wanted to add this. So I know how I said that there was a big size difference, but I realize now that in terms of diameter, they're not that different. And this is an important point to make. The RAV Moon, being a smaller tongue drum, is actually quite big. It's very thick compared to the small tongue drums that you find online on Amazon. This one has size to it and hence the resonance. That's why it competes so well with the volume and the resonance of a full tongue drum like the RAV Vast. So physically speaking, the difference is not that crazy. It's just a bit smaller. The real difference is in weight. This one feels bigger and it does weigh a bit more. And that difference in weight may be an important point for you, especially in terms of portability and carrying them around. Now that takes me to my next point, which is money. So you can find the prices online of both the RAV Vast and the RAV Moon. I think the difference is like $200 or $300. So if you're on a budget and you don't have that much, obviously the RAV Moon would be the winner there. It gives you almost everything that the big guy has, just like a mini version of that. And yet, yeah, it's all there for a smaller price. However, let's say you have the money for both, or money's not an issue. you're gonna spend a certain amount, and you say, okay, your options are get the Moon with its bag, which I 100% recommend. I love this bag. It's like a giant clam thing. And it looks like a turtle shell. They're very well built. I would recommend getting the bag, investing in either that or the tripod, because that makes for a very good experience in carrying it and taking it places. Or maybe you say, no, forget that. I'd rather spend the same amount of money on just the quality of instrument, or I should say on getting something beefier. They're both quality. Again, they're both extremely good quality. But maybe you want to spend the money on a beefier instrument that's going to give you a little bit more musically. I would describe it as a little more rich or multi-purpose, which for me personally, as a professional gigging seasoned musician, that is a big deal. Personally, I would spend the couple hundred more and get a RAV Vast. But that's also because I'm a flute player. I sing. I actually played this guy live at Fisher Island on a very cool gig, doing meditational and music from the movie Avatar. Super cool stuff. So yeah, I don't know, they're both very good, but that is something to take into consideration. All right, y'all.